Hi everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Tales of Monkey Island, where we've successfully got ourselves out of jail, out of the whole court thing. But now, the Voodoo Lady and LeChuck are imprisoned, and we've got to go about growing our sponge up, like a sponge grande. And it's going to involve this Feast for the Senses menu here. Now, I seem to remember that there's something to do with folding, yeah, bits of this.
That's odd.
Like, in a specific way. So, Feast for the Senses, a voodoo feast in 6 courses guaranteed to embiggen the smallest beastie. First course, put on a napkin that's a sight, a garish cloth grotesquely bright. Okay, a napkin that's a sight, a garish cloth grotesquely bright. Is that something to do with Stan's jacket? Once completed in order, your wee beastie will grow to maturity. Substitutions encouraged. Okay. So, second course, antipasta jungle meat gives off a smelly like stinky feet. Gives us a smell, sorry. Third course, before the main course, cleanse your palate with taste that hits you like a mallet. Fourth course, the main course will cause quite a flap. To find the sixth sense, use your map. Fifth course, now engorge the small dessert a touch, so shocking it might hurt. And sixth course, your meal is finished. Let out a cheer or belch so loud that all can hear. Right, so this one is to do with the map here. Quite a flap. So I seem to remember you have to like fold this in a specific way so that
It's like a whole new map now.
oh, there we go. I think. So there we go. So it has something to do with all this. So I don't. So is that how we're meant to fold it? I guess so. Feast for the senses. So I guess it has to be folded like that with the words there. So I mean we can do that. It's quite easy to do. So if we like, yeah. So the fact that he said it's like a whole new map now makes me think that the way we want to fold it is the way we just had it. Like that? Was that it? I don't know. Anyway, we'll figure it out. First of all, we want to
better fold this up before I put it in my pocket.
yeah. So he folds it back up. So does he fold it back up in the correct way? Oh, I think he does actually. Yeah. I think this is maybe the way it's meant to go. Where do we start though? We start from the Voodoo Lady's house. I'm guessing that's her house. I don't know. Anyway, we didn't speak with these guys properly.
You again.
Hello, Treepood.
Hi. You lied to me about LeChuck.
You've been lying to me about LeChuck all these years.
My ways are my own, Guybrush, but rest assured I have never lied to you.
You're lying right now. All this time, I thought LeChuck was an inhuman monster. Actually, he was an inhuman monster, but only because you made him that way.
Did I? Or was I merely playing my role in a much larger play?
Stop trying to confuse me. We're tired of being puppets in your chess game.
Yeah.
This is no game, Treepood.
I'll never trust you again.
You corrupted LeChuck and sent him out to torment me and Elaine for years. I'll never trust you again.
I don't require your trust, Treepood. Only your heroism.
Well, we're not giving you that either. I met Coronado de Cava.
I met Coronado de Cava.
My beloved. How was he?
Crazy.
Mad. Bipolar. Life ruined. Just another pawn sacrificed in your theater of the damned.
Yeah.
I never meant to cause him harm.
Sure you didn't.
Admit it, you were manipulating him.
Come on, admit it. You were manipulating Coronado.
Coronado was never touched by my voodoo, even though he sometimes begged to be.
No, we don't want to know about that.
I'm not sure we're talking about the same thing anymore, so I'll just shut up.
We're not talking about that. Have you seen Elaine?
Have you seen Elaine? Of course, even if you have, I won't believe you.
So whether I have or have not does not matter.
Well, if you do, tell LeChuck and then have him tell me.
Okay, did you feel anything strange while I was with de Cava?
So, when I was with de Cava, you might have felt something strange happen.
Ah, you are no doubt alluding to your brief possession of my physical form.
Oh, she knows about that?
How did it feel to be the manipulated instead of the manipulator for once?
It was curiously liberating.
You're weird.
Yeah, she is weird. Okay, trying to execute before I cure Elaine. About this feast for the senses.
About this feast for the senses?
What would you like to know?
First course is a napkin.
The first course in the feast for the senses. The napkin. What's up with that?
The table must be set with an eye-catching napkin to entice the sponge's hunger.
I'm sure that's got to be something to do with Stan. The antipasta? Explain.
The antipasta? Explain.
With the table set, a powerful aroma must encourage the appetite to grow.
I think my nose has been in shock since traversing the inside of the manatee.
I'm sure you will find something.
Right, something smelly. Can you tell me about the palate cleanser?
Can you tell me about the palate cleanser?
Before the main course, the palate must be scalded clean by a powerful taste.
Right.
Ooh, like grog?
No, not at all like grog.
Maybe like the one of the drinks from the bar. Palate cleanser. The fourth course is the sixth sense.
It says here that course 4, the main course, is the sixth sense. It doesn't even make sense.
Ah, but it does. For where the other 5 senses are limited to the finite experiences of the present, the sixth sense satiates the appetite for the infinite possibilities of the future.
The future? How do I feed something the future?
You already hold the answer to that question.
Do we? Fine. What about the dessert?
What about the dessert? This is one hungry sponge.
Ah, what is your favorite thing about dessert, Guybrush?
Running out before the check arrives?
No, it is the pleasurable shock of something
Shock.
different.
Okay.
Ah.
So it's going to be something to do with electricity. It says the feast for the senses ends with a bellowing belch.
It says the feast for the senses ends with a bellowing belch.
Do not worry about this. If you provide La Esponja the first 5 courses, the location of the final course will undoubtedly reveal itself.
Okay.
Ah, my favorite type of responsibility. The one that takes care of itself.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Alright, well... Alright, that's enough about that.
Alright, enough about the feast for now.
So we'll do the first 5 and the 6th should reveal itself.
Yeah, try not to get executed before I cure Elaine.
As you wish.
Yeah, alright, LeChuck.
LeChuck!
Guybrush!
My friend! My new best friend. Thanks for saving my hide.
I would have bet my good hand I'd never say this, but thank you
For what? I've caused you nothing but despair.
for taking the fall back there, and for exposing the voodoo lady. I don't know what to make of any of it, but now I can focus on saving Elaine and dealing with the pox.
It is the very least I could do. But be careful, Guybrush.
I'm always careful.
This from the guy who proposed to his wife with the cursed engagement ring you stole from my home.
I mean, it's a fair point.
Is that a dig? Is the evil demon pirate LeChuck developing a sense of humor? This is weird.
Really, thanks again.
Really. Thanks again.
You don't need to thank me, my friend. I merely spoke the truth. They say that truth is the greatest barnacle scrubber you know.
This new LeChuck is great. He is like the best guy, isn't he? Where have you been?
Where have you been? I thought you were with Elaine.
Well, after leaving Spinner Cay, Elaine and I set out to finish releasing all those monkeys I'd captured. After we were finished releasing the last of them, Elaine caught wind of your trial, went into a poxed rage, seized a passing clam schooner, and made a beeline for Flotsam Island.
That's my girl.
Needless to say, I took my own vessel and headed after her. But in the middle of the night, my ship was sunk by a rogue wave.
Huh.
I was washed up on an island of cannibals, from whom I deftly escaped, using many of the self-same skills you taught me back on the Jerkbait Islands.
There we go.
It's amazing how easily man-eating tribes can be reasoned with.
It is, yeah.
Knowing I needed to get here more than ever, I lashed together a few bits of cannibal leftovers and warthog sinew to build a makeshift raft. Unfortunately, that was soon eaten by the sharks.
Oh my god.
No.
So I swam. I swam as fast as I could for 3 days.
What a journey.
And arrived just in time to save me from the gallows. Nicely done, buddy.
You really swam for 3 days?
Kudos to your swim instructor.
I was fueled by the fire of our budding friendship.
Have you seen Elaine?
Have you seen Elaine?
No, not since she left me in a poxed rage.
She's been doing a lot of that lately.
About the Voodoo Lady's explosive diary.
I can't believe the voodoo lady has been pulling your ghostly / demonic strings all these years.
It came as a shock to me as well. But her diary spells it all out. You, me, Elaine, we're all part of the Voodoo Lady's malevolent plans.
Malevolence is in the eye of the beholder, Guybrush Tripod.
You stay quiet over
I
there.
know this is difficult to understand, but things are not as they seem.
No, things seem remarkably convoluted, which is what I've come to expect from you.
I've always had your best interests at heart.
If you say so.
What about my interests? Without your meddling, I could have lived a normal, happy pirate's life.
Ha! The destiny of LeChuck has never been normal.
Voodoo Lady's been behind everything?
How about the mountain of ice on the roller coaster of the damned? She was behind that?
Especially that.
Ugh. The sponge is a bust.
I risked life, limb, and manatee to get La Esponja Grande, and it's a puny, worthless lump.
What?
Soak up the gargantuan wonder that is La Esponja Grande.
That is La Esponja Grande? But wasn't it supposed to hold infinite amounts of voodoo?
Yep.
I know. What a crock.
The size of the sponge is meaningless. It is what you do with it that matters.
Oh, yeah?
Well,
you fight like a...
We're best friends. Best buddies. The Voodoo Lady gave me this menu.
So, Miss Spooky Pants gave me this menu which will
Miss Spooky
supposedly
Pants.
put more grande in my Esponja.
Excellent.
You want to put some of your newfound deductive reasoning to the test and help me figure out what I need for the menu?
I'd give my beard to be able to help you, but I'm afraid my pirate mind is not fit for such things.
Which explains why after all these years you still allowed me to get within a nautical mile of you with a bottle of voodoo root beer.
Alright, fine. Sit tight.
Sit tight, buddy. Once I save Elaine, you're next.
Yeah.
Don't worry about me.
We're going to save you, because you're our best friend now. Alright, Stan, what's going on over here? He's got a LeChuck doll now and a Voodoo Lady doll. He's changed his merch.
Stan!
Threepwood! No hard feelings over all those various civil and criminal charges?
Nah.
Water under the bridge.
Great.
A bridge with a fast-talking shyster/salesman dangling from it.
Still trying to make a buck on my recently cleared name? No, he's moved on, look.
Still trying to make a buck on my recently cleared name.
Nah, I sold all that junk to that Doro sap. I moved on to the next trial of the century. Flotsam Island versus LeChuck and the Voodoo Lady.
Ah, the next trial of the century. How are sales going now?
Yeah, how are sales going now?
Great. People can't get enough of the Voodoo Lady's murky moral ambiguity, mysterious unexplored backstory, and her ample
no, we don't want to hear about that.
voodoo charms. And as for LeChuck, well, let's just say the Lady Pirates love a tale of redemption. The whole bad boy made good angle.
Ah,
Voodoo Lady and LeChuck been put. Have the Voodoo Lady and LeChuck been put on trial yet?
have the Voodoo Lady and LeChuck been put on trial yet?
Have they? It's the trial of the century.
Wait,
Great.
I thought I was the trial of the century.
Yesterday's news, Threepwood.
Oh, that's a shame. So you're prosecuting LeChuck and the Voodoo Lady?
So, what kind of case are you building against LeChuck and the Voodoo Lady?
Oh, I'm not prosecuting them. I'm defending them.
Oh.
What? Why?
Why do I do anything, Threepwood? Money, pieces of eight, filthy lucre. That Voodoo Lady babe is loaded.
Wow.
Funny thing though, she only let me take the case if I defend LeChuck too.
Huh.
Funny like a peg leg.
Interesting. I see you got some new souvenirs.
What kind of souvenirs could you possibly be making out of the Voodoo Lady and LeChuck?
Oh, ye of little faith. Feast your eyes on the all-new People vs. LeChuck and the Voodoo Lady collection.
What's the deal with the pin?
What's this?
It's a little decorative pin I've whipped up.
Trial of the Century 2. Electric Voodoo.
We're still working on a title.
What's about the LeChuck voodoo doll? No,
What's that
LeChuck
one?
doll, sorry.
That's our cursed cutlass of Kaflu LeChuck doll. Press the button for its special transforming glow.
Ah.
What's happening?
Ooh.
It's a little bright.
Yeah, we're still working out a few kinks.
Oh, I wonder if we need that. Okay, what about the Voodoo Lady one?
What's that?
It's my entrancing Voodoo Lady dashboard good luck charm.
Alright.
Disturbing.
Very disturbing. Okay. Can we get this to light up again?
What's happening?
Because I just want to see
On second thought,
if we
Say
can
no more.
use the sponge on that. Okay, can we use the sponge on it? No, not the keel hauler door.
I
No.
have no desire whatsoever to see Stan's living arrangements.
Okay, it doesn't look like we can actually interact with them. Fine. Alright, Stan.
Stan.
Guybrush, old pal.
Hi. Can I have your jacket?
I don't suppose you'd be willing to sell me your eye-bending jacket.
Give up my jacket? That'd be like Samson getting a buzz cut, or King Arthur losing Excalibur, or Bluebeard dyeing himself blonde.
Huh?
Without my jacket, my salesman mojo would wither away faster than a hothouse orchid in a pizza oven.
So that's a maybe?
Come on, give me your jacket.
Sure you don't want to sell me your pupil-defying jacket? It's for a good cause.
This jacket stays with Stan until it literally falls off my back, Threepwood.
Okay, maybe we're gonna have to like cut a piece off or something, or find a way to get him to take it off. Have you seen my wife?
Have you seen my wife?
Have I? That crazy sea devil hit me up for one of my patented and perfectly passable porcelain power pirate treasure maps before hightailing it for the jungle. If we're lucky, that thing will keep her going around in circles for weeks.
Okay, so she's in the jungle. Fine. Alright, well, bye. We'll have to try and figure out what to feed this sponge in the next one. I think we'll go to the bar next and then maybe check out the rest of town before heading to the jungle and just see if we can figure out what sort of fits the little descriptions on the map. So as always, thank you very much for watching. A big thank you to my patrons Arcades Games, Wayne Nate, Paul from the Phantom Fellows, Lyle, Hobo, Numinous, Kumadin, Paulio, Flossie the Sheep, JohnCon555, Chrissy, Paul James and Zolties, and I'll see you next time.